Good that there's a warning there. What's up, everybody? My name is CoalFire, and welcome back to Rainswept. Now, I actually had to go back and look it up. I played the demo for this about a year and 2 weeks ago, and today is 2 days before release, and the devs were kind enough to give me a key for it for being one of the first people to cover it when the demo came out, and I'm really excited to see what it has evolved into. I don't know how close the demo is going to be to the final version, or if the events have been changed at all, but I remember the demo pretty darn well, and I'm just really excited to see what all has changed in the game, and to see the full story fleshed out and not have it cut short by a beautiful display of fireworks. But I think I'm going to be doing about hour-long episodes for this. It is a third-person, story-driven detective game about investigating a murder in a small town, and deals with some themes of suicide and past traumas and coping with them. And I just always really like it when games like that, or games cover themes like that. So, yeah, let's just dive in. Let's go. Monday, 12:14 a.m., October 7th, 1996. I was 4. Well, dealing with those themes of suicide right away. Frostwood Interactive. I feel like I probably said this in the demo, but this music really reminds me of Painful Memories from the Heavy Rain soundtrack. I think it's all in like D minor. It's just a really, really beautiful scale. Rainswept. I'm excited. Monday, 7:35 a.m., October 7th, 1996. God damn, it's really coming down. I hope I don't catch a cold again. Press E, enter, left mouse button to interact with objects. And use the arrow keys or the mouse to select further options. Oh goodness, okay. Yeah, so A, D, shift. The game is kind of 2D. There's some depth in the back axis, but toggle smoking, left control. Okay, cool. So, okay, this is my car, isn't it? Yep, that's my car. I just got here. I'm not going back right now. Man, I should have gone back and rewatched the videos to see what the voices were that I did. I've been here a while, looks like. Terrible. What'd you say? I can't hear you over all the rain. I said terrible. Terrible business all this is. What do you have to say, ma'am? It was only a matter of time, you know that. Oh, right. The crowd's too close to the crime scene. I know, they were still so young. Number of cops were too few. This is poor. Yeah, I remember a lot of stuff from the demo, and I'm gonna try not to spoil it if this is your first time seeing the game. So yeah, I'll do my best not to talk about that kind of stuff. That's the way inside. I wonder why Chief sent me all the way to Pineview for this case. Only one way to find out. Do I need to talk to you guys? That window is open. An open window. Now, what's he up to? Ma'am, please, you need to back away a little. What's happened? A murder? Johnny, get under the umbrella. Granny, I want to leave. It's really cold. Can we go back to the shop now? We could see all this coming a mile away. Ma'am, please. Granny, please. All right, Johnny, let's go. There's no point in standing here now. I knew this would happen. We should have done something. There's nothing we could have done. Chris did this. I'm sure of it. It sure does look like that, doesn't it? We already have some suspicions. Detective Stone, right? The chief is inside. They've been waiting for you. Use the mouse or number keys to select dialogue options? You need to control the crowd, officer. What? You'll have to speak up. I can't hear you over the rain. The crowd. Handle them. There could be evidence out here. We can't have the crowd trampling all over the evidence. Oh, yeah. I'm trying. Hey, Williams. What the hell are you doing? I'm trying to prop this tape, sir. It won't stay. Well, get some sticks and drop them in. Yes, sir, Richard. Don't call me Richard. Richard's on leave. Do it yourself. Goodness. Sorry, Detective. The thing is, we're short of manpower here. We weren't prepared for this kind of thing. First time in decades. And top it off, this goddamn rain. Just get the crowd under control. I'm heading inside. Yes, Detective. Don't worry. Richard... Williams? All right, so let's head on in. The way inside. I wonder why Chief sent... Oh, okay, yeah. Cool. Use. Should I go in? Go in. No point in hanging around out here. Hey. Oh, God. That's the sheriff. I should talk to him first. Alrighty. Michael? Huh? Detective, are you okay? Yeah, I think so. Guess I'm just a little tired after the long drive here. Okay. If you say so. Detective Stone, right? The head office called in to say that you'd be joining us here for this investigation. I'm Sheriff Harris. And this is Officer Watts. We appreciate the department sending help, but I don't think we'll need it. The case is ready to be wrapped up. What do we have here? 2 victims here. Christopher Green, age 26, died from a bullet wound to the head. Looks self-inflicted. And Diane Miller, age 24, a single bullet wound through the abdomen. The victims lived together, weren't married. Yeah, any signs of an intruder? No signs of forced entry. The door was locked from the inside when we arrived. An officer climbed through the window in order to open the door, and there were no footprints outside the window. Except the officer's. He was careful. No signs of struggle or marks on the body either. Do we have a TOD? According to the next door neighbor, the single gunshot was heard around 0:15 hours. He received a call at 0:20 hours here, and we're here in another 5 minutes. Found them dead on arrival and confirmed the timing. Weapon. What do we know about the weapon? Both shots were fired from a .38 caliber special revolver. The ballistics report will let us know more. Any witnesses? Just the next door neighbor who claims to have heard a single gunshot. We can interview him, but there's 2 gunshot wounds, right? He has one through his head and she has one through her abdomen. So unless it was a really unlucky ricochet, or like they lined it up in such a way that, yeah, that's inconsistent. We need to see how many rounds were fired out of the revolver. We can interview him shortly. End questions. Honestly speaking, Detective, we think it's pretty obvious what's taken place here. What do you mean? They had a reputation. They weren't exactly a happy couple. The whole town knows this. Diane was shot at point-blank range by Chris's gun, probably by Chris. And then he went ahead and shot himself. The wound is seriously self-inflicted. So you see, sending you here unnecessarily complicates things. Remain silent. It's obviously a case of murder-suicide, Detective. Remain silent. Are you suggesting there was domestic violence involved? It would seem so. It was never reported, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. So, rumors. You may call them that, but where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm not sure that... And they were never really able to fit in this town. They were new here, moved in about 6 months ago. Never got out much, didn't make any friends. We don't need to analyze the obvious, Detective. That would only be inefficient. This is Officer Blunt. She'll assist you through the course of your work here. Hello, Detective. And one more thing. We're looking to wrap this case up quickly and cleanly. We don't want to drag it out if it can be helped. We have an important festival coming around in a week's time. So you might say this is, rather bad timing. So there's no need to go around complicating things, all right? Just get me a story that works and we can close this case quickly. Sarcastic reply. Yeah, sure. Can't wait to wrap this case up. Yeah. I'll see you soon then. Goodbye. Okay then. Anyway, have a look around the room if you'd like. Come talk to me when you're done. Alright. So, gun. This is what I'm most curious about. 38 caliber Special Officer Watson. Looks pretty old. It holds 6 rounds. It's a revolver, so it wouldn't have ejected the shell casings. They would still be in the barrel. Open barrel. There are 3 unused rounds here and 3 spent shell casings. This means 3 rounds were fired from the gun at some point in time. If 2 were fired last night, where's the 3rd? Or was it shot last night or in some other day? The gun belonged to Chris, according to Officer Watts. Oh, that was our Officer Blunt. Let's assume Chris or Diane weren't the ones to use it. Is there anyone that could have known where they kept the gun? From Pineview? I really doubt it. Remember, no signs of forced entry. Could be someone they were comfortable with or trusted. No one I can think of. Alright, let's check out the body. What is this? 38 special rounds. It's a box of 50 rounds. Means there's 44 here, which means 6 are missing. 2 were used last night. There are 3 still loaded in the gun, as we saw earlier. If there were 2 shots last night, but still 1 unaccounted for. Was it shot last night too, or on some other day? I think I'm just gonna give him my normal voice, because otherwise it's gonna be really hard to maintain a voice all the way through a really long series. Wine. Red wine. Looks like a new bottle. It was opened yesterday. No one drank from this glass. It would seem that Chris was sitting by himself at the table and drinking wine, waiting for someone to join him. Probably Diane? Whether he was waiting for her or someone else, we don't know yet. The glass of wine was knocked over. Looks like, wine, but there seems to be some blood here as well. How'd the splatter end up in this direction? Doesn't make sense. These drops of blood fell out of place, too. Officer Blunt, I think there's more than 2 gunshots that we're looking for here. Yeah, so... I mean, at the same time, you know, if he is sitting at the table with his right hand holding the gun up to his head, he pulls the trigger and there's some backwards blood spatter, lands on the ground, but then we don't know what the 3 dots are that are right next to the ground, unless, you know, she was bleeding over there as well. But let's see if there's anything else to investigate over here. We got the wine glasses. We've got... Oh, body. Obviously. Bullet wound to the head. Skull is badly damaged. Most of the side has been blown off. His body position the way he fell would indicate that he was sitting sideways in the chair, facing where Diane's body is now. The angle of the shot indicates that he was shot from this side. If someone shot him, they were standing in front of the refrigerator. No clues there, though. He could have been shot through that window. At the moment it's shut, you must get it checked for fingerprints and footprints outside. Could somebody have entered and left through here? We should have the fingerprint results in a couple days, Detective. Don't forget, there aren't any footprints outside. If somebody shot him from outside, then Chris would have sat facing the refrigerator. It would make sense. That way the killer wouldn't need to enter the house. But in that case, who shot Diane? Examine hand. Gunpowder residue on his right hand. Hard to disagree with Officer Watts here. There's strong evidence for the victim shooting himself. Unless it was made to look that way. This chair's fallen on its back. It looks like Chris fell out of the chair before or after being shot? Alright, so we need to go check out... Oh, what's down here? Huh? What's this? Chris 96? Yeah, Chris 96. Sign. Chris 96. Suggesting Chris built some of the furniture around this house. Alright, so we need to check out this body. Gunshot to the stomach. The damage and the residue would suggest this was taken at point-blank range. This rules out the possibility of her being shot through the open window. She would have been in line of sight from the outside, though. There's no mistaking it. The perpetrator would have been inside the house to cause this kind of wound. Whether that was Chris or somebody else, it's hard to say at this moment. I think that's everything. So, yeah, we have gunshot residue on his hand, which suggests he was holding a gun and fired it. We don't know if that means he shot himself or if he shot Diane, but he shot a gun. But we can assume that the same shot didn't kill both the boyfriend and the girlfriend, because there's gunshot residue on her stomach wound, suggesting that she was shot at point-blank range. Now, we have 3 rounds missing out of the gun with 2 gunshot wounds here, which means 1 bullet's unaccounted for, but we also don't know if these gunshot wounds here were caused by a .38 special. So, yeah, that's most of the evidence we have so far. So, we can talk to you? We done here? Yes. Yes, I'm done. Alright, let's have a chat with Mr. Willis outside. The rain's finally let up. Ah, Mr. Willis, he's the witness. Right, this is Mr. Willis. He lives next door. Coffee detective? Yes, please. Yes, thank you. You can ask him any questions you might have about last night. Right, right, Mr. Willis. Can you tell me everything that you saw or heard during last night's events? Well, see, I'd headed off to bed around 11 p.m. as I usually do, after a glass of whiskey. Helps me sleep, you know. Anyway, somewhere around 12:15, I'd say, I was woken up by a loud bang. I ran into my bedroom, and it looked straight down into their place. And what did you see? Nothing. The kitchen lights were on, but that's about it. I went to my phone and called Officer Watts, here straight away. How long did it take you to get to the window once you heard the shot? A couple of seconds, Detective. Not more than 5, I'd say. Nearly fell out of my bed when I heard the shot, so you might say I was halfway there already. Did you see anyone at all in the street? Anything unusual? No, Detective. Everything was exactly the same as always. You said you heard 1 gunshot. Yeah, the whiskey usually knocks me out pretty good, so if there had been more, I didn't hear them. Do you live alone, Mr. Willis? Yes, I do. Never got married. It's a long story. One meant to be talked over a couple whiskeys. You know what I mean? Can anyone confirm your whereabouts? No. I was just at home, you see. Am I a suspect? It's procedure, Mr. I know Mr. Willis. He's cool. React to the unprofessionalism on display. We'll need to have a talk later, officer. A talk? About what? Just later, okay? Okay, Sherlock. Whatever you say, Holmes. Did they have many visitors? Friends, etc.? No, not at all, in fact. In all this time, maybe only saw Jack coming over to fix their car? People rarely ever visit him because they mostly kept to themselves, see. Never made any friends here. But sometimes folks don't like those kinds either, so can't really say. You know what I mean? No, please elaborate. You won't find anyone crying over their deaths here. Nobody really knew them. They never got out much. Any other information you'd like to share with us, Mr. Willis? I don't know if this is useful, but you might have heard about Chris and Diane. They looked pretty happy when they first moved in. More recently, though, I heard Diane crying a couple of times, usually late at night. See, the whiskey knocks me out early, so maybe that's why I never heard all this before, but a couple of times I was up a little later. One night, about a month ago, I heard pretty bad things. There were some loud sounds like stuff being flung around and such, see? I heard someone crying, thinking to myself maybe I should call the police, but then it quieted down all of a sudden. We never received any calls for domestic violence, but people has often talked about stories of this kind. Can you remember when you heard this, Mr. Willis? Well, when I was up late at night and writing an important letter, I think it must have been somewhere between the 1st to the 3rd last month. 1st to 3rd of September. All right. Anything else? No, that's all I know about this. Right. Thanks for your help, Mr. Willis. We'll be in touch if we need anything else. No problem, and thanks for the coffee. Thanks for your help, Mr. Willis. You seem like a kind gentleman. Was that, suggesting he might have been writing a suicide note, though? It seems like maybe... I don't know. Maybe that's just a little bit of speculation on my part. So, Detective, you said you wanted to have a talk later? Is now a good time? Yes, officer, please don't tell witnesses they're not under suspicion, especially not in front of them. So you're basically telling me that I don't know how to do my job, is that it? All I'm saying is this case isn't all wrapped up as you'd like to believe. How can you not see what's going on right in front of you? It's so obvious. Mr. Willis didn't see anything outside the house after the gunshots, and there are no signs of anyone forcing entry either. On top of that, considering how rough things were between the two of them, you heard what Mr. Willis said, right? Jumping to conclusions, seriously? What has been barely hours since the murder? Do you think there's enough data to form a conclusion? Mr. Willis's account only forms part of a complete picture. It is not enough. Well, what about the door, huh? How is it locked from the inside? Explain that. I checked the door. It locks itself from the inside when you pull it closed, whether you pull it from the outside or from the inside. I'm not saying that's what happened, I'm just saying there's no conclusive evidence yet. Well, fine then. Dig as deep as you'd like, Detective. You won't find anything new here. I was perfectly capable of handling this case myself, but of course the head department had to complicate things. In any case, Sheriff Harris will probably want to wrap this case up before the festival, so don't expect him to wait around for more than a week. I have to head to the station now, officer. Escort Detective Stone to the hotel? Oh, that was the Blunt. Will do, sir. Yeah. I remember not liking him. Okay, red is the detective. Blue is Blunt? We'll come back in the evening to search the house, letters, diaries, things of that sort. All right. When can we expect the autopsy results? Day after tomorrow, according to the coroner, but I can confirm and let you know. I'm guessing there are more than 2 bullets shot last night. We should take another look around the kitchen to make sure. 3 bullets. But, we're actually glad you're here, you know. Although the sheriff and Officer Watts would rather not admit it, even to themselves. This is like the first murder in the last 100 years or so. We have no idea how to deal with it. I mean, yeah, it's a surprise. Come on, detective. You don't need to be rude. Anyway, I didn't mean that as rude. I just joined the force a month back, for instance. And a murder already? I'm not sure if I'm ready. I'm kind of new, you could say, but I've never known anyone that's been murdered before, you know? Kind of weird. A bit sad. I know an officer is not supposed to feel that way and all, but I'll be fine. Give it time. Thanks, detective. Tell me about Chris and Diane. What do you know about them? Well, not much. Mostly that Mr. Willis said earlier. Nobody knew them, really. They came here, kept to themselves. You'd hear stories about them. Everyone thought they were some kind of weirdos. I admit, I kind of agreed with that sentiment, too. I feel bad about that now. There's no reason to make assumptions about people's characters, and character can't be used as evidence. So I'd really like to help figure out what the real story is, whatever it may be. What's this festival week about? Sheriff said that there's a festival in the town next week. What's that about? Oh, it's an annual thing. We have it every October. There's a fair on Market Street. There's foods, rides. We get a lot of tourists from nearby states around this time. It's a good source of revenue for some of the smaller businesses here. That, of course, is less important in light of recent events. Good to hear you say that. Of course, we can't just go around trying to wrap up cases based on our assumptions, whatever the situation may be. I mean, these were people's lives that ended, and it's our job to figure out what really happened. So, I guess what I'm saying is you can count on me during this investigation. Thanks. End dialogue. And the car breaks down. I'm hoping the local police will let me do the job I've been sent to do, though. I don't mean you, detective, I know what you mean. Honestly speaking, Sheriff Harris is an asshole. I'm serious, he doesn't care about anything except running off home and taking it easy. This case probably ruined his plans to relax and enjoy the festival week. I hate people like that. Officer Watts, though, he's really sweet. I know he comes across as a little obnoxious, but... Oh my god! Yeah, I remember that. And then we get the car repaired. Jack's Auto Repair! I saw her. She was right there. Why am I seeing her? Why am I thinking of her? Oh, I get that now. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil that to anybody else, but if you've seen the old videos on the demo, then it makes sense now. My poor car. Use? That would be dangerous. Sure would. Okay, I'm gonna give you a voice like Scooter from Borderlands. Talk. Hey, Jack. Sup, dude? What's the issue with the car? Well, the headlights and the bumper are gone. You'll need to have them replaced. I'm gonna have to check a replacement part, see if I can fix it. How long will it take you? A couple of days, 3 maybe, depending on how quickly I can get the parts. Shouldn't be more than 4 days at most. Oh boy. Hey, dude, can you fix me my big red wrench? It should be over in the toolbox outside. Alright, I'll get it. You're amazing, bud. Thanks. I just love doing a voice like that. It's so fun to do. Look, Jack got here in that. Okay. Look. This could be the toolbox Jack mentioned. Use. It's locked. Didn't he say a red toolbox? No? Okay. Look. Oof, what a beauty. I wonder if it's Jack's. Use. Man, I'd love to, but I don't think Jack would appreciate me doing that. Check. Talk. Key. Toolbox is locked, Jack. Oh, that's weird. Why'd I lock it? Anyway, the key should be somewhere among the stuff behind your car. Thanks, dude. Yeah. Okay, key. Use. Alright, got the key. Tar shovel. Wonder what Jack uses those for. There's evidence everywhere. You okay? Doesn't Jack need your help? Talk to me when you're done. Oh. Are you upset with me, Blunt? No? Okay. Item? Take the big red wrench. Yeah. Item? Yeah, that's it. I love this wrench. Thanks, bud. Ask about the convertible. Is that red convertible there? Is that yours? Yeah, man, it's a 65 Mustang. I love that ride. You used to get it, you got it used pretty cheap off the guy who couldn't take care of her anymore. Sometimes I get my tongue caught in my own words. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Luckily, the car's got something that keeps it running like new now. You? Ha, you're pretty smart. Yeah, it's got me now. I spend all my free time on her, fixing her up and making sure she runs better than new. I keep her happy by taking her on long, beautiful drives on the roads outside town. Just her and me and that purr of a big-ass engine between my legs, playing with her stick shift. Gotta force that clutch. Sorry, got a little carried away with that. You've got a shovel and some tar there. What do you use those for? Dude, I do a bit of construction work from the side sometimes, you know, fixing up driveways and stuff for some extra cash. And why did you seem suspicious about that? Detective, you're here investigating Diane's murder, right? And Chris, yes. Do you have any information that could help us? I don't know about information, man. I just know that he did it. What do you mean? Chris, he killed her. Why do you say this? Everyone could see it coming. Diane, they say she was troubled, scared of him even. Someone in this town should have done something. We all knew this could happen, but no one cared enough to bother interfering. How do you know all this? I don't know, rumors around town mostly. Did you know them? Not really. People here barely did. They were not the kind to come out and make friends with their neighbors, looks like. Still felt like outsiders to the rest of us. What were you doing last night? What was I doing last night? Yes, that's what I asked. Oh, right. I drove a couple miles here and drank a few beers and enjoyed the view. At night? Yeah, stars, man. You'll see. Was there anyone with you? Did you meet anyone? Nah, man. There's nothing like the pleasure of your own company sometimes. All right. Thanks for your help, Jack. We'll be back if we have any more questions. Of course you will. What do you mean, Jack? For your car, man. Come back when she's fixed. You're way too serious, way too fast, man. Chill out. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Blunt, what's up? Hey. Hi. You okay? Yeah, I'm fine, surprisingly. I'm really sorry about the crash. I don't know what... It's alright, especially since we're okay. Something else worries me, though. What's that? What happened back there? How'd we hit that tree? I thought I saw something. What'd you see? Person. That's kind of creepy. Yeah. Are you okay otherwise? I mean, I don't know you, so I don't know if this is like a regular thing. No offense. No, that's okay. I know what you mean. Yeah, I mean, you collapsed back there at the crime scene too, and then this? Yeah, I don't know. I've been a little dizzy all day. Maybe I just need a nap. Seeing this kind of stuff bums me out. I mean, just saying, if there's anything wrong, you can talk to me about it. Don't hesitate. Okay. Detective? I'm gonna drive to the next town for a bit. You want me to drop you on, by the way? Sure. I didn't get to answer, but that'd be nice. Here we are, the famous Pineview Main Street. Sorry, I got a little drunk on the way over here and I'm mixing up my words again. Not kidding. Nah, I'm kidding. Not much to see here, really. Let's see if we can talk to some of the locals on the way to the hotel. Alright. Alright. It isn't very busy this time of day, but there should be a few people out here. Father Smith knows a lot about Pineview. It'd be a good idea to talk to him before heading to the hotel. He should be around St. Madeline's Church. Oh, I need to rest my voice for a second. Talking for 40 straight minutes and doing voices. You will just see a cut to the future. Man, don't eat before recording. Oh, also, here's a map of Pineview so you can get around town by yourself. Press M to open and close the map. Click. Press N to check current objectives. M. Whoa. Yeah, okay. Very cool. This is a quaint little town, isn't it? Boop. N. Talk to Father Smith. Nope, you could investigate this. Look. Fiction or non-fiction? Fiction. Me too! Aspen Street. Is that what that said earlier? Happy Valley. Oh, no. Aspen Street and then Cathedral Street is up the street from that? So Aspen Street and Cathedral Street are the same street. I don't know. Oh, you're the coffee brother, right? What do you have on the menu? You should come here for breakfast someday. Owner, Mark, is a pretty great guy. You mean me? Hey, detective, you're here investigating the shootings, right? Yes, I am. This whole thing is so tragic. Anyway, you want some tea, coffee? This is my cafe here. No, that's all right. Come over here if you want a pint. Keep your unhealthy habits to yourself, Alan. Too much coffee's unhealthy, too. Also, if you haven't noticed, he's already smoking a cigarette. Ignore him. He just likes to annoy me. And I let it get to me all the same. Who is that? It's your brother. That's Alan, owner of the bar next door, and my brother. Twin brother. Not that you'd know. By the way we lead our lives, I don't know how we ended up as polar opposites. I know, I got all the good stuff! Anyway, you had questions? How long have you lived in Pineview? I was born here. My family lived here for many years before that. We left the city when I was about 10, my dad looking for better work. I returned here as soon as I graduated, about 9 years back. I prefer the life here. Big cities just aren't for me. Now it's just me, my books, and my coffee shop. Life is simple, and I love it. Did Alan come with you at the same time? No, Alan joined me 5 years back to get a fresh start. Maybe he can tell you more about that. Do you live alone? No, I'm married. Have been for 6 years now. My wife, met my wife in my own cafe, actually. Oh, it's a cute story. We're very happy for you, Mark. Does Alan also live with you? No, but he lives close by. Was he in last night? Yeah, I think so. I didn't check or meet him, though. About Chris and Diane. Do you see them often? No, barely a handful of times, maybe. They came into the cafe a few times, but that was in the early days when they just moved in. They wouldn't say much to me or anyone else here, and mostly kept to themselves. Or I could say they didn't have eyes for anyone else, to put it bluntly. They looked very much in love. What can you tell me about them? Anything that stands out? Well, I kind of identified with Chris in a way. He sounded like he moved here for the peace of mind this place provides and start a small business for himself. What business? He'd been trying to get a hotel project off the ground here, from what I hear. He had trouble getting the project approved. Maybe Father Smith can tell us more about it. He's involved in the planning committee. All right, Mark. We'll talk later. See you around, detective. I know my high male voice and female voice sound exactly the same. Huh. Looks like Alan locked up and left. That's all right. We can talk to him tomorrow. Grandpa's Bakery. Bread, biscuits, donuts, and coffee. Where'd the music go? It's quiet here. Hello, Grandpa? I'm not your grandpa! And your name is... Grandpa. Mr. Grandpa, I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions. I was wondering if I could ask Miss Brown out there on a date. Wondering ain't doing, is it? Just look at her. Oh boy, she makes me feel 40 years younger, she does. Do you ever plan to grow up, Grandpa? Any more growing up and I just might die. And I ain't planning on doing that before I ask you out. Goodness, such immaturity at this age. She likes me. I know she does. You're deluded. Woo! Anyway, you got any questions, young man? I thought I did. How long have you lived in Pineview? Forever! My family's been here for generations. Guess I'm the last in the line now. My shop's been here for generations too, you know. I like to think I've taken real good care of her. Oh, and she's taken real good care of me too. Where were you last night? Around 12 a.m. Where do you think I was? In the hospital? You making fun of me 'cause I'm old? You'll be in the hospital when I'm done with you. I was at home, sleeping. Can anyone confirm this? No, no one can. I live alone. About Chris and Diane. When they first moved in, Chris would often come in the evening to buy some things from me. He'd come in daily almost. Looked pretty cheerful, too. And then in a couple months, they'd just stop coming. And the last few times he came, I could see that something wasn't right. Maybe trouble with his lady. I don't know. He and Diane went to the church maybe a couple of times. Once or twice they came over here for coffee and donuts. They were quite a couple, I tell you. He was quiet and nonchalant one. She an exciting, electrifying energy. A classic case of opposites attracted to each other. If what people say is true, I don't know what went so wrong so fast. But then, these things, you never can say. And this was all about 4 or 5 months back. After that, I hardly saw them out here again. I'll talk to you more later. All right, Grandpa, we'll talk later. Who are you calling Grandpa, eh? I'm not your grandpa. You didn't give us a name, sir. I'm sorry. Really, where'd the music go? Was that just because I waited too long when I was taking a voice break? Who is it? Oh, detective. You'll have to excuse me. I'm awfully busy at the moment. New inventory just came in and I need to take stock. All right, open the second box, Johnny. No problem. We'll talk later. She's a suspect. Well, really, everybody's a suspect now. Overlook Road? This leads to Overlook Road, which will take me to the hotel. All right. Down we go, then. Yeah, I remember this. This might be a good place to leave this first episode. Yeah, I'll leave it here. It's really fun to be back into this game. It really is. I didn't realize how excited I was going to be to like revisit all of these characters and actually figure out what the hell was going on here, because the demo left off on a pretty big cliffhanger, and it might take me a little bit to get all the voices down, and there might be some that sound very, very similar, but there's a lot of characters in this, and there's only so many voices I can make. But it's still a hell of a lot of fun doing them. But I realized this episode was kind of an introduction to everything, and there's not a whole lot I can say about the game right now. But at the time of this video going up, the game comes out tomorrow on Steam, and I think it's going to be about $12 on the launch sale. But if you guys want to try it out, I would highly recommend doing so, because I don't play a lot of games like these, but this one in particular has really stood out to me since I played the demo, and getting to follow along in development and on Twitter, it's just been really, really cool to see this game grow, and I am really damn excited to see how this all rounds out. But I hope that I can save the game anywhere. Save. New save slot. Perfect. Yeah, again, link is down in the description below if you guys want to try it out for yourselves, but this has been Rainswept. Thank you so much for watching. My name is CoalFire, and I see you next time.